So I was talking to someone a few months ago, I promise you, this was like last year, and he runs a food pantry in Philadelphia. And he was telling me how basically the same families that used to donate 2-3 years ago to the food pantry are now the same people who are going to the food pantry to get supplements, supplies to feed their household.
Right.
And so that's a huge change when you have people. I mean, it's not just poor people anymore. You have working class citizens who can't afford to put food on the table for their kids. And when we say households, we need to remember that in certain communities, those households aren't just 2 and 3 people. Those households may be 5 and 6 people, including many of them being children. And so when you talk about one of the most monumental times to make sure that young people have the most access to food and nutrition, we're thinking about 4 and 5 years old and people who are and young people who are in elementary school. And so we're not providing that food security, that nutrients in such an early age. What is to be expected of them as they grow throughout their educational career? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I think to step back a little bit, it's also interesting when you talk about where does this problem come from? So how are people eligible to get on SNAPs? If you want to talk about the millennial generation, a lot of those like the fancy internships and fancy job programs that aren't really paying young people to work are one of the reasons why you have a bunch of young people on SNAP. Because I know so many that are doing. I won't shout out the should I shout out? Nah, I'm not going to shout out the nonprofit.
Don't shout it out.
Yeah, not the people, but the nonprofit organizations and that aren't paying people and say, I want you to serve for 2 years, and we're gonna give you maybe enough money to pay rent, but it's not really enough money to pay rent. And so we're just gonna tell you to sign up for the SNAP program because we can't pay you enough to feed you. But there you also see that in the corporate world. So we just had Black Friday, we just had Thanksgiving. I said Black Friday before Thanksgiving. It sounds like such an American. So we just had Black Friday.
Both of them are made-up holidays, so it's fine.
They're both. But Black Friday is an American holiday, and then you got Cyber Monday, Small Biz Saturday, and then Giving Tuesday. It'll make you feel good for all of the bad consumerism that you did for the last 3 days. That's beautiful. But so Black Friday, Walmart, largest corporation in the world. So many of Walmart's employees are on SNAP. And so now you have, I think there's this misconception, even when like Jamira was talking, a lot of times we forget about the working poor and forget that nowadays, like you have people that are impoverished, but they're only impoverished because corporations are being so greedy and they're not paying their people. So it's like, so what can the arm of government do to those corporations that are just saying, nah, I'm going to pay my people $6 an hour, and I'm going to have people that are, that have families that are working 40 hours a week, but I'm not going to pay them enough to eat off of, and hopefully the government will create a program, because you have corporations like Walmart and other, like McDonald's, fast food industry, you have like the big old strikes that are going on talking about a living wage, but the corporations are one of the largest problems when you talk about SNAP. They're creating these impoverished communities, and these communities that need SNAP.